Hey guys, what's good? Derek here from Bomb Socks with more Bomb Bites, where we feast upon the words of Christ. And as always, we do it one bite at a time. So we're excited to get into sections 6, 8, and 9 of the Doctrine and Covenants this week with you. We get to meet Oliver Cowdery. We get some awesome things about personal revelation. And we got some great episodes from our Bomb Bites videos to help you enjoy this section. And if you haven't already, you got to go check out our amazingly comfortable gospel-themed socks at bombsocks.com. Take care, friends, and enjoy the video. This week is sections 6 through 9 of the Doctrine and Covenants, and we're going to take every single day, and we're going to have just little bits and pieces from those sections. These sections are largely having to do with personal revelation, and we will certainly talk about that. But again, I also want to stress the importance of understanding context, understanding what's going on in church history at this time, because, like I've said, if you can understand context, it will help you appreciate the content that is in the scriptures. So I want to introduce you to Harmony, Pennsylvania. So Harmony, Pennsylvania plays a big role in church history. So just to show you in relationship to Palmyra, New York, Harmony was about 130 miles from Palmyra. So you can see that distance was made several times by Joseph and others. And Joseph lived here off and on from 1825 to 1827, working to help his family financially. It is here where he met the lovely Emma Hale Smith. And Joseph and Emma were married. Joseph and Emma lived here for about 2 years, from 1827 to 1829. They lived here close to Emma's parents, even though Emma's father, Isaac Hale, was very skeptical about the work Joseph was doing. Again, Isaac Hale was a good man, just he very much had a difficult time with everything that Joseph had been doing. Much of the Book of Mormon was also translated here in Harmony. Emma was a scribe for a time until Martin Harris came along, and then we went through all of the things where Martin lost 116 manuscript pages. So after Joseph received the plates and the ability to translate again, after all of that had happened, a young man by the name of Oliver Cowdery came to Harmony because of what he had heard about Joseph and the plates. So I wanted to focus a little bit on what brought Oliver to Joseph Smith. So in order to do this, I really believe we jump back to section 5 of the Doctrine and Covenants. And you remember that verse that I brought up, that verse 34, where it talks about stop and stand still until I provide means for you to accomplish what I have asked you to do. Because I imagine once Joseph got the plates back, he was super anxious to get ready. And the Lord said, just hold on, Joseph. I will provide means. And I really believe those means were in the form of Oliver Cowdery. So Oliver was a young school teacher. Oliver is a year younger than Joseph, so they both were very young men. Early 20s during this time period. Oliver is a very educated man. And again, as a school teacher, he was there in Palmyra, and he boarded with the Smith family. And during this time period, that's where Oliver heard about Joseph and the plates. So I love the fact that Oliver is brought into Joseph's life at a time where he really needs him. I love how the Lord is able to put people into our lives at the times that we need them. I want to share with you a couple quotes from Elder Maxwell. Elder Maxwell loved to use big $20 words, and he was good at it. And some of you may or may not remember Elder Maxwell. He passed away in 2004. A brilliant mind in the Quorum of the 12. Not that there's not one, but he had this ability, very educated, very well read. Look what Elder Maxwell says about the Lord putting people into our lives at certain times to benefit and bless our lives. Fortunately, God is preoccupied with his children. I love that. We and what we may become are his work and glory, for all that he does is for our benefit. Then the same God that placed that star in a precise orbit millennia before it appeared before Bethlehem in celebration of the birth of the babe has given at least equal attention to the placement of each of us in precise human orbits, so that we may, if we will, illuminate the landscape of our individual lives, so that our light may not only lead others, but warm them as well. And I really believe Oliver Cowdery was that light that came into Joseph's life at the time that he needed it to help Joseph translate. And many of us have been in those situations where people have been brought into our lives
to bless our lives at that time that we need them. And maybe you and I are the ones who have been brought into people's lives to be able to help them at times. So one more quote from Elder Maxwell. I believe with all my heart that because God loves us, there are some particularized challenges that he will deliver to each of us. He will customize the curriculum for each of us in order to teach us the things we most need to know. He will set before us in life what we need, not always what we like. And this will require us to accept with all of our hearts, particularly your generation, the truth that there is divine design in each of our lives, and that you have rendezvous to keep individually and collectively. So it is important to understand the concept of personal revelation, where we need to be, when we need to be there, and I really believe that the Lord will help us do that. This week, I would invite you to really think about how to hear the voice of the Lord and how he will guide you in places where you need to be, either to have people come into your life or have you come into other people's lives to be able to bless lives. God knows what he's doing, folks. I testify to that. And he brought Oliver Cowdery into Joseph's life at a time where Joseph needed it. So with that in mind, tomorrow I'm going to show you a little bit more about Oliver Cowdery and his background and what brought him to be a part of this wonderful work.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and thanks for sharing these messages. As always, we're so grateful that you do that. If you like what you see, click the like button. And if you haven't already, like I said, go check out those socks at bombsocks.com. Godspeed, friends. Take care. We'll see you. Bye-bye.